Have you ever went to buy GrowScan and see that GrowScans are 30 deals now? Yes, because that was me. And I know why. Inflation, 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 inflation. And the law of supply and demand. The law of supply and demand is the relationship between the quantity of the items being sold in the market and the quantity of the items that the buyers wish to purchase. This is what allows items to rise or drop in price. But how does it work? Here's the thing. It doesn't. When the supply is high and the demand is low, the price drops. When the supply is low and the demand is high, the price rises. But that doesn't end there. Because in Growtopia, the economy is player-driven, thus prices are not fixed. Therefore, prices are subject to change at any point in time. Thus, we categorize the prices in 3 different categories: stable, semi-stable, and unstable. Yes, we didn't take it from Growstocks. First, the price is stable when the supply and the demand is equal to one another. It is balancing one another, and the price is less likely to change in a short period of time. Let me give you an example. Farmables, laser grids, pepper trees. Are pepper trees still relevant? But at sometimes, farmables may also become semi-stable. And events like Harvest Fest, Winter Fest, or St. Patrick's Day, I don't know, you name it. The price is semi-stable if the demand is starting to rise than usual, but not yet to the point of when the price is unstable. When the price is unstable, the price is volatile because the demand from Earth, it goes to other planets whilst the supply is still on planet Earth. And that's why prices are subject to fluctuate a lot in a short period of time. Examples are Raymond Fist, Magplants, GrowScans, Royalogs. You don't know what may happen to them because just some small inflation. They may be double its price the next day or the next week. That's just how unstable their price is. Now let's get into the advanced stuff, the good stuff, the reality of supply and demand. You know how Growtopia's economy is so hard to understand that you can't speculate or predict what the price of the items will be because you can't also predict the supply and the demand of the item. You can only predict with the factors that the item has that may contribute to the demand. Thus, we don't just say that the demand is high or the supply is low or vice versa. We say that the supply and demand is rising or dropping, which ultimately leads to prices rising or dropping. If the supply is rising and the demand is dropping, the price will be dropping. If the supply is rising and the demand is rising, then the price will also rise. But if the supply is dropping and the demand is rising, then the price will be rising more than ever. More than that you can think of. But if both supply and demand is dropping, then the price will be dropping as well and may later on stabilize. If you notice, the price is directly proportional to the demand of an item, while inverse to the supply of an item. This is why prices are not fixed at all. So is there an example for this rising and dropping supply and demand? Well, the thing is there isn't, because with the logic that prices are not fixed and they are subject to change at any time. But yeah, it goes like that, and it goes like this, and it goes like that, and it goes like... A lot of items are pretty unstable due to inflation, due to a lot of things. But on the good side, most items like clothing, they're all pretty stable. So yeah, you don't have to worry about them. Now that you've learned about supply and demand, let's get to your real question. How do you profit from supply and demand? It's not simple and you need your big brain for this. I can't simply give you a guide on how to profit because I myself am still struggling on how to profit with supply and demand, but I'll give you a brief summary of it. There's only one thing that you should remember. When profiting with supply and demand, you take advantage with the demand of an item. What do I mean by that? You need to be able to predict when an item will be in demand. This is very crucial when it comes to buy and sell profit, though it's very risky because in buy and sell investments, you buy the item low and then sell it high depending on the demand, or if you're just lucky to find a player that buys the item for a higher price. Because say for example, if you bought an IOTM for a lower price and later on the item starts to have a rising demand, it means the price will also rise. That is when you profit, when the price is higher than the price that you originally bought the item for. And that is how people profit from buy and sell. But for other instances, in supply and demand, there are events like Carnival. Yes, Carnival can make you a lot of world locks if you do it in the right way. You know, in Carnival, people do quests, and there are a lot of quests in Growtopia. They come with fossils, surgery, crystal shattering, fish training, or card battling with criminals. There is a huge demand for these
nuts. Got him!
These quests in Carnival. For example, crystals. Crystals are very crucial to crystal shattering. A lot of people often want to restock their quests, so they need to buy more crystals. And if you have crystals, it's always advised and recommended to sell it during Carnival. The problem is, there are a lot of suppliers and there's a huge competition out there. But that doesn't mean that the supply is higher than the demand. In fact, because it's Carnival, there's a huge demand for crystals. That's why people say
to sell certain items during Carnival because they rise during Carnival due to high demand.
And that is supply and demand for Growtopia, and maybe in real life as well. Police officer, there is someone that is not subscribed right here. Who not subscribed? Police officer, it's him. He's not subscribed to me. Yo, you not subscribe? You're under arrest for not subscribing in violation of the law. Subscribe now. Police officer?